dear people. My name is Precious Ending, your host of one of the most enriching programs, Get Impeccable. I'm so honored to have you all glued to your screens to Get Impeccable. In this episode of Get Impeccable, we will be discussing about how to overcome inertia. What is inertia and why is it key to overcome inertia? Inertia is defined as the resistance to change in motion or state of rest. It's a concept from physics, specifically Newton's first law of motion. Okay, let's break this down through examples. Picture this. You're in a moving vehicle. A vehicle of moving at a very high speed of about 150 kilometers per hour. That's so fast. Suddenly, this vehicle stops. You tend to realize that your body pushes forward unless it's been held by your seatbelt or an object in front of you or beside you, something like that. Or consider this, you get into that car, but this time the car is at rest. So you got into a non-moving car. You realize that you are at rest, and when the car starts moving, there is this reluctance, to go along with the speed of the car. Until when your reluctance, your resistance is overcome and you start moving with that speed of the car. All these two examples, dear people, illustrate inertia. One in a moving body, another in a static or body at rest. Okay, I hope you got the examples. And I know you'll be wondering, Precious, how does this apply to my personal development? If you leave yourself to be manipulated by your inertia, you tend to realize that you have lost dreams, lost opportunities, dead realizations, nothing to really show for. In fact, you remain average, mediocre. No one would actually want to look up to. Well, I don't know if you want to be in that space. I think anyone who wants to actually grow and realize goals and, fulfilling purpose, you wouldn't want to be in the line of being manipulated by your inertia. If you think that's a tangible reason why we should look for ways to overcome our inertia, permit me take you to the two main types of inertia. Number one, inertia to start. The inertia to start, guys, just simply says the reluctance, the resistance to kickstart, to begin, just to start something. There's that resistance to start. This inertia to start will be divided or subdivided into two. Inertia to just start and inertia to start now. There is a big difference and both of them are equally relevant. Now, the inertia to start now has to do with the fact the reluctance for you to begin at the moment. You keep postponing, you keep being that procrastinator. I can't start this project now, maybe I'll start it next month. I can't start it now, maybe I'll start it next week. You keep procrastinating and procrastinating. All of this, dear people, just defines the reluctance to begin, and that is the inertia to start. You can actually begin late, where the opportunities are not coming because you're not prepared. Opportunities will arrive, but you're not prepared. But what about the inertia to just start? Guys, the inertia to just start just simply means it's more of a panic to begin, or fear or low self-esteem to actually begin. So you feel like if I actually begin this, it might fail, it might not work out, I might be laughed at, I'm not capable. So all of this are like, you can't do this, don't even begin, don't even think about it. That's the inertia to just start. Like you don't even, you feel there's this big kind of blockage telling you you can't start, and you listen to it. You tell yourself, yeah, I can't. That is the inertia to just start. The second inertia I'll be talking about is the inertia of non-flexibility. Life is not a straight line, and you need to be flexible with your thoughts, with whatever you're getting into. This is very typical of people who are in very average jobs. They have a measure payment, and at the beginning of the month or at the beginning or at the end of the month you're rich, the middle you're so poor, and the end you're rich. So you're kind of reliant on this. These people, guys, are not okay with that. They have ideas of starting maybe a business for themselves. Some are even violated or are even marginalized in these jobs, and they're even thinking of quitting the job. But you know what? Their mind tells them not to quit. Their mind tells them not to begin that business because it might fail. Their mind tells them if they quit, they might never have another job that will pay them. The mentality of non-flexibility. Anything that doesn't really add value to your life and brings you down. Dear people, you should be able to move, shift, change your direction. But it's not easy. It's not sucking candy. It's not that easy. People have tried to, shift, but their minds hold them, and that is the inertia of non-flexibility. You feel like if you quit this job, you remain a failure. You're not flexible with your thoughts. You're not flexible with your direction. You're not flexible with how much you see from you. You feel you could just remain in one position, and that is what the inertia of non-flexibility does. You're working, right? You've started, right? But what about the variety? What about the growth? Inertia of non-flexibility inhibits growth. It keeps you at one position. You experience stunted growth. In fact, there is barely no growth. That is the inertia of non-flexibility. Okay, precious, we've heard you. We need to overcome the inertia of starting and inertia of non-flexibility. How do we do that? Okay, but before that, please, if you're enjoying this video, if you've learned one or two so far, please click that subscribe button, like, and then let's get to business. How do we overcome the inertia of starting? In fact, how do we overcome these two life-threatening inertials? First, I'm going to use just a phrase, okay? Use the disruptive force. Input the disruptive force. That phrase, I tell you, it's so powerful. Using the disruptive force. In the lore, let's go back to physics because that was our initial reference, right? So similarly, in the Newton's first law, it says, unless an external force is applied to that system, unless that body remains at rest or moves in constant motion. Unless you apply disruptive force. So we're going to I'll call as disruptive force because you're going to disrupt that pattern of being stagnant. You're going to disrupt that pattern of being non-flexible, right? So you use the disruptive force to overcome this inertia. Because you need to be intentional and purposeful. It is disrupting that pattern that doesn't want you to go forward. Using the disruptive force therefore means 1. Stop, pause, and reflect. Sometimes you need to take a pause, guys, and reflect. Number 2, be smart. Strategize. Life is a strategy. Think about efficiency, not just starting or producing, but how efficient are you with your time? Number 3, take risk. Take a risk. Life is a risk. Well calculated risk, of course, but be ready to take risk. Number 4, desire for more. Taste for more. You need to want more, because when you want more, it pushes you to do more. Whether you're an entrepreneur, student, or whoever, you should be able to overcome, even if you've been able to overcome the inertia of starting, be able to overcome the inertia of non-flexibility. And I hope our 4 great steps will help you through. Meanwhile, what aspect of your life do you feel is being threatened by the inertia? What inertia, by the way? Let's have your answer in the comment section. Thank you so much for taking our time to watch this episode. Congratulations for giving yourself the chance and opportunity to grow. Build a better world by sharing this video, because the more you like, the more you share, the more people get to know about Get Impeccable, and the more the impact gets bigger. Thank you so much. Precious Auntie here, signing out. Bye. Thank you.